So that's why I wanted you to
Yes.
speak on the state of play right now. There's a state of emergency in your state.
Yes.
You are a politician. You have benefited from the democratic process, sitting on top of the table in Rivers State. Are you doing everything in your power? Because we saw pictures of you and some legislators from the state in London and all that. Are you doing everything in your power to make sure that 6 months is done and everything returns to democracy? Being a beneficiary.
No. The beneficiary of what?
Of the democratic process.
That's why we are supporting the state assembly. That's why we want that the only way there can be democracy is when the legislature is in existence. Now, it behoves you now, who is the governor, to allow democratic structures to be. It behoves on you now to say, look, this thing has happened. How do I do to bring everybody together? Now you hear people talk, go on television, say this and say that. I'm an elder. I'm a leader. Has anybody taken it upon himself or herself in Rivers State today? Say, look, see where we are. What do we do? Let me approach this legislator. Let me approach these leaders of the party. What do we do to make sure things work together?
Maybe they are looking up to you to do that.
See, that is the problem I have.
As a leader.
You said you heard what I hear one Rufus just said I'm the cause of the problem. And I laugh. If I'm the cause of the problem, as an elder, he claims he is. Has he one day called me? Come. What is the problem? Why can't you sit down and talk? And let me now say, okay, see this and see that. Rather, as the chief promoter of ethnicity under Adaj's governor in Rivers State, we saw hell. That's the period you had Ogoni and Okrika crisis. That's the period you had crisis in Okrika land, where human beings were killed, slaughtered, where he established the Bush Boys. Ask him. Under who? That they now had Amanaba for Okrika, under my government. Under me, under him there was crisis. Bloodshed. Yeah, people were dying. You set up a faction of what they call them Bush Boys. The Arabs set up a faction and they were killing, slaughtering people. As a governor, as an elder statesman, and you have not. So, these are my people. Now somebody who's not from your place came as a governor and said, no, this has to stop. What is this problem? God gave judgment about Amanabo. Instantly. I never waited. I said, look, there must be an end to all this crisis. You know, great the Amanabo of Okrika. I went ahead and created another first class for Oguruma. I recognized somebody called the Amanabo of Keke. I recognized somebody called Amanabo of Okachu. Today, in Okrika, there is peace. If I didn't want peace, as a non-Okrika, I would have allowed it so there will be crisis in that place. And then what I tell people, elder, it's not just because I'm 85 years. Elder also means by your conduct, by your activity. If you be an elder that is 85 years and you're not bringing peace, take away that elder and go. Take it away.
So you have admitted that part of the reason why there's the state of emergency was declared in your state was to preempt a number of things which could have degenerated.
I thought the president did not want the state to get to that level of where anarchy. And he did the right thing. I said, but selfishly, I wouldn't want it.
Yes, that's what I want to ask you.
Because I'm a politician.
So politicians are happy with anarchy?
No. You don't understand. I wanted the governor is not doing well. Get out.
And some people say the sole administrator is also not doing well. He's already acting like a Democrat when he's supposed to be there appointing local government chairman.
I'm so surprised about what he said. He's bringing democracy. First of all, remember and take ourselves back. If this sole administrator does not bring peace in the place, does not set up democratic structures, remember, the moment the 6 months is over, you fall back to Supreme Court judgment. Today, they're getting their money because a state of emergency has been declared. Ordinarily, if a state of emergency was not declared, money won't go to the state. Money won't go to the local government.
Isn't that hypocritical? Money is flowing to the hands of the state and the local government under an administration that is not democratic.
Listen to what I said now. That's the point I'm trying to make. What's hypocritical about it?
Because the administration is not democratic.
No, but who made it to be democratic?
It's a sole administrator.
No, no. The government has already collapsed. Supreme Court has given judgment that there's no government. And therefore, there's no appropriation. And you cannot spend money without an appropriation. There's no local government. Who will take the money? Who preside over the money? Emergency route ordinarily is an aberration. However, because the Constitution recognizes that a situation like this may come up, that the president has power to do what he did. In order to say, okay, for the time being, let us have some peace. But in having that peace, civil servants must be paid. In having that peace, institutions must be ranked. You cannot say civil servants should not be paid, schools should not go on, hospitals should not go on. How about?
Well, the Constitution never said that a democratically elected governor would be swept off his feet, because the intention of the Constitution was...
remember Section 305 said the president got the exceptional steps. But like I said, the matter is in court. Let the court interpret. And that's why people should be patient. Up to now, we have almost about 11 cases. I hear the PDP governors went to court. I hear.
Yes,
that's what I heard. They know. They all did that just to... They deceived the governor. They deceived him. Don't you know you're a governor? Apply this. Apply that.
Yes,
see where they are.
Your Excellency, if we are looking at a long-lasting peace, we are 2 months gone into the state of emergency.
No, 1 month.
1 month gone. In 6 months is expected to be over. And you stated clearly that the president's decision sort of gave the governor a lifeline. Should his supporters be bothered that after the state of emergency, because we know these 27 lawmakers are part of your political family?
That is what we are saying. He who wears the shoe knows where it pitches him. Is that correct? You're a governor. So hold on. Look at the circumstance where you are. You should take the bull by the horn. Take steps. I told you here. Has anybody approached anybody?
So Governor Fubara hasn't called you on the line since his suspension?
I have told you, have anybody approached anybody? You know, when you see, I don't like people who are hypocrites. I have told you, mention one leader, one so-called elder in Rivers that has taken steps. Those of them who are running around the governor, collecting money. I hear one of them is always in the golf course, IDB golf course here, playing golf. Has he gone home to say, look, now we're under this kind of situation. What do we do? 6 months will still be over. Have we achieved the peace we are supposed to achieve? Because at the end of the day, if you don't achieve anything, then you still go back to square one. Which does not make sense. Does it not occur to you that, look, if nothing is being achieved now, there's no population, there's no democratic, there's no elected local government, Supreme Court judgment must be implemented.
So who is the sole administrator accountable to? That's what people are afraid of.
That is why it is called emergency rule, which I told you as a politician I'm not happy. Okay. But to solve the situation, and that's where the president came in. And that's why those who know should now know that let's take this opportunity and say, look, I know this is the problem. Can you do this? Can you do this? you must make sacrifice.
Okay.
Some will
If
say
you are talking of those who
it's
know,
not
shouldn't that
only-
include you?
It's not only coming out
Shouldn't that
on
include
national
you?
television.
Yes,
to
Your
talk.
Excellency, some will
No.
some will say, Your Excellency, that you, more than anybody else, should be the one also mediating this peace process. Simply because this is just less than a year after you left office. This is the legacy. As in, the governor was your man, the House of Assembly members are your people. So one would say you are even more of a stakeholder in making sure that this process of peace gets to fruition.
Now, let me tell you. But the same assembly people listen to me. It's not correct. But the government didn't listen to me.
Just see him as a stubborn son and then bring.
No problem. Now, let me tell you something.
Have you heard the parable of the prodigal son?
Let me tell you.
The father left those who listened to him and went in search of that only one that didn't listen to him.
That's not prodigal son, no. That's not correct. When a prodigal son comes back and pleads and says, look, forgive me. I've made a mistake. I want us to move forward. You are human. You are human. But in sincerity, let me tell you, 2 governors under APC reached me with an influential person from outside the state. 2 governors under APC. Right? Came to talk to me. And I said, look, I'm not the governor. I'm a city minister. There was a gang up against me here. And I knew there was a gang up. I have to put some structures on ground to see that there is peace. That I do my work. I don't need to allow enemies to capitalize on 1 or 2 things. Who will suffer is the administration of the president, who has confidence and put me in this place. So I don't need to begin to give excuse. You are a governor. You have a problem. That's why I said governance is not only restricted to award of contract and commission of project. It takes beyond that.
If Fubara calls you today, will you pick his call?
These 2, I said these 2 governors came to me. And I said, look, I'm here for peace. What does he want? What does he want? And they said, look, we'll do everything to make it. I said, in sincerity, if anybody comes there, they say, look, you want to, but it must be in sincerity. Let me tell you, I've been in this system, I've been in government. I know a game politicians play. Politicians buy time. The best opportunity was when president intervened. The day president intervened, the assembly people went immediately and withdrew the impeachment notice. You heard what happened. Some elders came up. President has no power. What you did was political. They went to court. They went to court. A lot of suits were instigated. Where did it lead us to now? Who is on suspension? Is it me? I mean, you must use wisdom. A whole president of a country called you, whether he was right or he was wrong, at least at that level. That's okay. Let me stomach. Let me listen to him. And you play your own part. Let the people not play their own part. Mr. President, he has played his part. These people are saying, look, do you understand what it takes? For 16 months, you seize people's salary. They don't pay their children's school fees. Most of us are just talking. Do you know what it takes? Let me ask all of you here that your children are at home. Why? There's no money to pay their school fees. Why? Somebody has stopped my salary for 16 good months.
Your Excellency.
So, and nobody appears to take that into consideration.
So,
the pains. And I expected that somebody should say, look, this thing should end. Let me go. Sir, ma, we can't continue this way. Let's sit down and talk on the table. All this arrogance of going to national channels, arise to abuse anybody. You are here, they say I'm dead. They flew me out. All those things will not give you the peace. You carry coffin. Wike is dead. It's not my business. If people who have heard, who really understand what it is, should say, look, we have done this for how many years now? What have we achieved? Can there be peace? Rather, they try to make sure the problem does not end. They make money.
Two quick questions because we're already about to move to the FCT.